All right, back with another recap. We're doing Indiana Fever versus the LA Sparks playing in LA. And this is the game I was waiting for because the Fever and Sparks are more evenly matched. The Fever, their like first 3 or 4 games out of 5 was just they hit all the juggernauts. And as a matter of fact, that doesn't even stop because they're about to play back to back in they're about to play the Aces back to back. So their beginning of their schedule was nuts. But I wanted to see them against a team that they were evenly matched against. So you had Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson, which were first round draft picks. And then, of course, you have Caitlin Clark. And just seeing if those two dynamics, like seeing how that would all play out. So what we saw was a first half where Caitlin Clark leaned into her distributing, and she was, listen, Temi Fagbenle is going to be her favorite target because Temi Fagbenle is fast. And so she can beat her up the floor, and which means that fast break is going to be a connection that teams are going to have to deal with all season long. So they were able to stay in the game. They were down 11 in the first half, but they were, they didn't get blown out. It wasn't a 25 point deficit. So they were in the game. On the Spark side, Dearica Hamby basically got whatever she wanted offensively in the first half, and that's what helped the Sparks get the lead that they had. Now, the really big problem that I saw was that Cameron Brink, who is a starter, and Rakia Jackson, who's like 6th or 7th into the game, off the bench, first or 6th or 7th player, first or second off the bench is what I mean. Rakia and Cameron both had 3 fouls in the first half. We only get 6 out here. And as soon as when you get into foul trouble, your opponent is going to attack you. So it changes how aggressive you can be defensively. And I think that hurt them because at different times you had Cameron out of the game, and she is a deterrent defensively. And you have Rakia out of the game, and she is, who you really want. That's somebody who can create their own shot. She is a scorer at any point in the game. So she was out consistently, and so was Cameron. And when they were in the game, they had to account for their foul trouble. So Kurt Miller, he's the coach of the Sparks. He's been in the league a long time. He's going to figure that out. Hopefully they got to keep them in the game. So that the first half was a lot of Dearica Hamby and the Sparks. And then in the second half, the Fever just kept coming. One thing that I'm so excited about is that Aaliyah Boston, that's my girl. Aaliyah Boston kind of woke up and looked more like herself this game. She has been struggling to start the season. So it was really great to see her pick it up, have some rebounds, play some defense, and get some easy buckets. She also hit some jump shots, which I think is going to be key in order for them to be successful. So that was really great to see. So the first half was Dearica. The Fever didn't play great defense, but they stayed in the game. Caitlin leaned into her assists. And she also drove when her threes weren't falling. She drove the lane, so that was good to see. And then the second half, the Sparks went completely cold. Dearica Hamby didn't score another basket. She didn't score a basket at all in the second half until the last basket of the game, which was inconsequential. So they shut her down. So whatever their defense did to adjust, that worked. And then Kelsey Mitchell at the start of the fourth quarter was basically like, I know we have Caitlin Clark, but I'm just going to remind you that I've been out here. Kelsey Mitchell led them in scoring last year. So Kelsey showed up, and she can score at every level on the floor. So hit a couple of threes. She drove to the basket. She is a scorer. So she got some things done. And then as they made their comeback, they took the lead, and then Caitlin played the role of the closer, and she hit 2 threes within a couple minutes. And the last part of this clip that you'll see is her second one that she hit, and is basically put the nail in the coffin for that game. But it was a sold out game, the most people, the biggest crowd in the history of LA Sparks basketball. And if you know anything about the Sparks, that is a storied organization, so it's a really big deal. Great time to be a women's basketball fan right now. That's it. See you next time.